Sheldon, how are you?
I'm doing good. I
Okay.
rushed over, made it to Albuquerque.
Well, why don't you just tell me a little bit about yourself?
Okay. My name is Sheldon Nuñez-Velarde. I'm from the Oyero Hickory Apache Reservation in Dulce, and
Mhm.
I'm a micaceous potter. I also do traditional other arts besides pottery. I put one of my baskets here that I made on top, and also I do moccasins and beadwork. But for SWAIA, I'm just approved for the pottery. But I thought I'd add other stuff that I'm interested that I work with.
I love that. I think that you need to definitely show all of your talents.
Uh,
So, I find that when I talk with artists that they always do more than one medium. And so
yes, uh,
that's just a thing, right?
yeah. For example, right now I'm working on. I also do moccasins. I'm working on these here. These are some of the. These are
Oh,
women's moccasins.
Sheldon, those are
Yeah,
wonderful.
and then I'm working on the leggings that goes on top. So it's halfway done. But this is what I've been doing lately.
Do you find that you have a attention span issues and you got to move to the another project
Um,
to get inspired?
well, for example, the beadwork, it's taking me forever because it's slow and tedious. Pottery, I can whip out in no time, and it kind of slows me down. So right now, I have people wanting pottery, but I can't do them because I have orders that I need to fulfill. So,
Gotcha.
and baskets is even slower. This one took me about probably 2 months to make, the one in back.
Wow.
I learned from I learned beadwork first, and then I learned pottery, and then I learned baskets.
Wow.
So that's what I
So
did.
then did you learn these mediums from family, or how did you learn them?
My great grandmother, 3 generations back, she was from the near Cimarron, New Mexico. That's where our
Okay.
reservation used to be, or where we originally came from. So my grandmother was from there, and we had some of her pottery, her traditional cooking pots, and we still have them in our family. And when I was like 12, I remember looking at my grandma's curio cabinet, and her pots were in there. And my grandma said her grandma made it, but she said I don't know. I never paid attention, and I don't know how to make pottery. So that was that. I think the year or the after that, I seen they had a cultural program in Dulce, and they were teaching pottery. So I immediately signed up for that, and it was taught by Lydia Posada, and that's where I learned how to do pottery from. It was from her, and I learned how to. I did learn the basics from her, and then I kept up the traditional pottery cooking pots from my grandmother's, and I have a lot of her designs that I use on my pots.
That's cool. So do you guys still cook from them?
Yes, I have
Wow.
a like this past summer during the pandemic, pots were selling for like crazy, and people kept ordering them. So I was swamped with bean pots. So
Yeah.
when people were watching me on my Facebook when I'm cooking and doing recipes, so it sparked interest.
I'm very curious. So what's your favorite thing to cook in a pot?
Beans, just
Oh,
plain beans. Yeah,
yum. I'll take that.
yeah, beans. You can do regular other soups, fasoli, different stuff, but mainly just beans would be good.
Does it taste different in the pot?
It has a different flavor to the pottery.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. So other than
And,
the leggings, are you nervous that, uh, okay, so first of all,
mhm.
there's a possibility of a physical market and there's going to be some stuff going on. So are you nervous? Are you like, oh, criminies, I better start doing
um,
some work?
I like to like for example for SWAIA, I probably start my pots in June, July.
Oh,
Yeah, all the way up to the last day I'm firing stuff Friday. That's just
yeah,
that works.
you're one of them.
Yeah, and it works for me, the pressure. So,
Oh,
but
that's cool,
yeah.
Sheldon.
So I need to go dig some clay. I'm running out of my supply, so I need to do that probably next month and take some people with me.
I had a really interesting podcast with some individuals from Acoma,
Mhm.
Pueblo, and she was talking about how just collecting the clay, and then how she made her paint. And
Mhm.
I had no clue
Yeah.
of just the methodology, and that it was just like, so she was pulling her colors from rocks.
Uh-huh.
Do you do the same thing?
No, this is called micaceous clay, and it's everything's already mixed by Mother Nature. I just dig it out and I sift out and get all the impurities out, like big chunks of rocks and twigs, and it's ready to go. It already has everything mixed in already, so I don't have to mix nothing. So I need to separate all that and let the form out the clay. I mean, I play with the fire. For example, this is a turtle pot, the firing clouds, and this is
Oh,
fire. This is
that
black.
is a beautiful pot.
This is a turtle pot here, and the lid comes off and it has a handle. So I like to play with the different colors. And this
Yes.
is natural mica, and this is oxygen reduction pot, fire.
That's beautiful.
And here's an all pure black pot. This is a cooking pot, the contemporary one.
Yeah.
And it has a little steam hole for the vent.
Wow.
And I do like different styles. This has kind of like bubble designs on there, Southwestern.
So I'm assuming you can just put it on a stove with like a gas propane. Is that how you
Yes,
cook?
you can on the stove top or outside on a fire, but it'll make it blacker when you use them.
Yeah, that's very
And
cool.
then that's basically it. Like for designs, I do some etching on there,
Mhm.
and it's basically just gold or black. That's all. There's no paint that we use, so that's all. It's not like the Pueblos. There's a little bit more steps to it.
Okay, so we're not going to do any fighting here.
I'm just saying it's not as tedious. And
Yeah.
they're all traditional fired, and I use cedar wood or pine, and that's how
Oh,
I fire. And these are characteristics of the pottery firing. It's
I
called
love
the
that.
it's called the fire cloud, and those pop up where it just happens when that's what the collectors are looking for, these marks on some of the pots.
The pottery in different regions, different tribes, it's all done differently, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I go beyond the traditional cooking pots. Like for example, I don't know, this has it's an Apache. This is a Western Apache style basket
Oh,
design here.
wow.
And I have a crown dancer lid, and it has all the Apache designs on there.
Sheldon,
So
that one's beautiful.
thank you. So I like to play with the Apache culture and add different things to it. I haven't done this in a while. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll bring some back for SWAIA.
Yay! Those are gorgeous. Those are
Mhm.
absolutely beautiful. What about the one on top?
This is a plain pot, and it has cutout designs. And there's the cloud, lightning, sun, and the moon, and the stars.
Yes.
And it has like little tassels to go with it.
Yes. That's very, very unique.
Thank
Love.
you. I work at the cultural um, heritage center in Dulce, and
Okay.
that's where I learned how to do basket weaving. So this one was actually my second basket ever made,
Wow.
and I have there's a turtle in the middle. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, yes, I can see it.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it has the four directions, the mountains, and it has water design on the inside.
Yep. That's beautiful. What's the
I've only made
materials?
5 baskets in my life. And most of them are in the collections and the museums, and I just don't have time with all the other stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So what is the materials that you use to weave your basket?
this gold here, this
Mhm.
is sumac,
Okay.
and this white, no, this is I'm sorry, willow, and the white here and the designs that's made out of sumac. So this
Okay.
is the natural color when you boil it. But then the other ones we have to add, and that's the natural white color.
Yeah. So does it change the texture when you're using different plants?
No, it's about the same. The
Yeah.
same.
It's just the color that you're trying to capture. Those
Yeah.
are gorgeous.
Uh-huh. And
I
I've
think
yet to
I think you
add.
need 3 Sheldons.
Uh-huh. I'm still working on trying to add basket weaving to the pottery, so it's still coming up. But that's what I want to do later on.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So
like, would that be
uh-huh.
like a lid or something on top of the pottery or how?
Probably like adding on like halfway, then building the rest with the basket or something, or
Oh,
maybe a basket lid. I don't know. I'm still trying to play with it.
that's very cool.
Mhm.
So how has this pandemic been for you? Have you been able to be very creative or has it been?
Like I said, I was real busy with bean pots all the way up until when was my last order? Back in February. And people, my friends on Facebook and collectors, they would keep ordering. I'm still behind like 40 pots. And I don't think I can fulfill that a lot of work, but I can probably get about 18 pots done in like maybe 3 weeks. But I was getting burnt out. Then my wood supply was going down and my clay. So I had to stop. So that's why I'm doing beadwork now. And I have a lot of
Sheldon, you're
orders.
super
So,
busy.
yeah. But
Wow.
what's good is I still had my job from the tribe and we still got paid. So that was good.
Oh, that's good.
We still
That's
have
really,
our security with our job.
yeah, totally. How long have you been a SWAIA juried artist?
Not very long. I don't think so. Probably 15 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that seems like a long time to me.
No,
So,
really. I mean, there's people that have been there like way older than me. But
right.
uh-huh.
That's very cool. And so, in reference to the Santa Fe Indian Market, are you excited of the possibility of being here, or how does that feel to you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Because that was one of the highlights of the year was that the Indian market. So
Mhm.
then last year it was kind of sad when we couldn't have it. I got COVID during Indian market during that time, so I wasn't able to do the getting all my work in for the virtual one they had.
Mhm.
So that was my ordeal back then, but I got over that.
Wow, that's unfortunate. But you have a
Yeah.
website, I'm assuming.
Well, I used to. I just worked through my Facebook and
Oh,
Instagram.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, could you imagine if you were like full on, if somebody was doing all of your e-commerce work and you,
Mhm. I need another person, another.
I totally see that. Like,
Yeah.
what do you do if you're being efficient? I mean,
I
40
I
orders is going to take you into the next year.
um
Wow.
it's taking its toll on my hands. I can feel it nowadays. So
Yeah.
I have to watch out. I kind of have arthritis in this finger, so I know over the years I can't be doing this forever. But
Oh,
I can feel it now.
yeah, that's what the artist that I was talking to yesterday was saying, how their hands get really sore.
Yes, or dried out. The clay and the leather dries my hands out, and it cracks. So I always
Wow.
have to keep it moist. I'm
Wow.
always busy. And being home during the pandemic was good, and I had a lot of inspiration and
Yeah.
different people. The people were still ordering. That was surprising.
So, I've been doing lots of just trying to get a feel for what's going on with collectors and with the
Mhm.
artists. And, I can honestly say that I feel like the collectors are collecting still. And
Yeah.
there's new collectors. And
Mhm.
I think that the more that we spend time from a digital standpoint to highlight artists by artists and just really give them some good exposure, it's gonna continue to grow.
I think the last show I did was right before the shutdown. That was for the herd
Mm.
and the herd museum. And then when we came back, that's when the next week everything changed like overnight. So that
Oh,
was crazy.
it
But
was.
we did good at the herd, and that was my last show.
Wow, that's awesome. So, and then in reference to even like any markets other than SWAIAs, do you have any plans?
I used to participate in almost everything. Along with working with pottery, I'm also a teacher, and I do a lot of workshops. I've done some with the herd. I've done the moccasin and pottery workshop. But along with in my tribe, I'm always doing the everything that when they ask me to do demonstrations or workshops. So I do a lot of that and try to keep it going in my
Right.
tribe. Right now, I get invited to like for Aztec ruins, they have the little Indian shows that I do, and I do demonstrations there. So whenever people ask me, I'll participate.
That's very cool. Well, I really appreciated meeting you. You're talented, and I love hearing that you're busy and that we need 3 more Sheldons.
Yes, exactly. You were asking about the kettle.
We didn't get to talk about, is it a teapot?
It's a tea kettle. Yeah.
Oh, love, love, love.
So, you know, the Tivana teas, I made the infuser that was through with them. I formed it on the pottery so you can use it on the pots.
You know, I love the cute little brown Bettys that come out of England. That is fabulous. Do you sell a lot of the teapots?
Yes, that's popular. The utilitarian pots, they go, people ask them like serving bowls, cooking pots, and baking items. They sell. It's surprisingly.
Well, you know, it's unique because a lot of people buy pots to display them.
Yeah.
And to buy pots to cook in is very different.
One of the teachers was also, along with Lydia Posada, was Felipe Ortega. I don't know if you've heard of him. And he was a master in bean pots. So I also learned from him. Since he's gone now, a lot of people are coming to me for bean pots. So it picked up where he left off. So it's you know, I'm constantly making bean pots now. So that's good.
I might want a bean pot.
Okay.
I might want one.
Yeah, they come. I do all kind of different styles. The plain ones. I do ones with just one handle with no lid. But most people, they want lids, so I make them with.
Yeah, probably. You know, for me personally, I mean, I'm intrigued to cook in one of your bean pots. I want to see if it tastes different. No, I love your work. This is very cool, and I'm excited that we can share this on our website because it's.
Thank you very much.
We'll be in touch. Thank you so much, Sheldon, and have an awesome day. And again, thank you for driving to Albuquerque to meet with me.
No problem.
Yeah, big deal. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, we'll see you later.